Spaceballs, 1987. Spaceballs, directed by the legendary Mel Brooks, is a classic sci-fi spoof that has remained beloved for decades. The film takes a hilarious, over-the-top approach to parodying Star Wars and other iconic space operas. Released in 1987, it stars a talented ensemble cast, including Bill Pullman, John Candy, Rick Moranis, and of course, Mel Brooks himself. It's a wild ride of comedy, action, and unforgettable one-liners. Plot. The story of Spaceballs is set in a distant galaxy, where the evil Spaceballs, led by the villainous President Scroob, played by Brooks, are attempting to steal the air from the peaceful planet of Druidia. The Princess of Druidia, Princess Vespa, played by Daphne Zuniga, is kidnapped, and her father, King Roland, Mel Brooks in a dual role, is desperate to save her. Enter Lone Star, Bill Pullman, a rogue space hero with a shady past, and his sidekick, Barf, John Candy, a lovable half-man, half-dog creature. Together, they try to rescue the princess and stop the evil Spaceballs from taking over the galaxy. Characters. Lone Star. The film's version of Han Solo, Star is a charming, reluctant hero with a knack for getting into sticky situations. His character is witty and just the right amount of tough, but with a comedic touch. One of the film's standout characters, Barf is a hilarious mix of loyalty and goofiness. John Candy's performance brings the right amount of warmth and humor, making him the heart of the movie. Princess Vespa. The damsel in distress, who isn't quite as helpless as she seems, Princess Vespa is feisty and sarcastic. Zuniga delivers a great performance, making the character feel both heroic and humorous. Dark Helmet. The film's primary antagonist, a parody of Darth Vader, Dark Helmet is comically inept. Rick Moranis' performance as the overly dramatic and childishly insecure villain is one of the film's highlights. President Scroob. Scroob is an over-the-top, evil ruler with all the traits of a classic, bumbling villain. Brooks' comedic chops are in full force here, playing a character who's more comical than menacing. Themes. One of the main themes of Spaceballs is the idea of heroism in the face of overwhelming odds, but with a comedic twist. Lone Star's journey mirrors that of traditional heroes, but the absurdity of the situations he finds himself in pokes fun at the genre. The movie also plays with the idea of destiny and identity, with characters constantly questioning who they are or where they belong. The film also does an excellent job of satirizing the commercial and franchise nature of blockbuster films, even going so far as to parody product placements and the concept of sequels and merchandising. Spoofing Star Wars and other films. At its core, Spaceballs is a parody of Star Wars, taking direct shots at its most iconic moments, characters, and themes. From the opening crawl, which mimics Star Wars' introduction, to the infamous Dark Helmet scenes, which are directly modeled on Darth Vader, the film never misses an opportunity to poke fun at the legendary space saga. The movie doesn't just stop at Star Wars, though. It also references Star Trek, The Wizard of Oz, Alien, and even the classic Western film tropes. Spaceballs is a love letter to pop culture with a sharp, satirical edge. The humor is often self-aware, with Mel Brooks breaking the fourth wall throughout, adding a layer of comedic genius to the film. Mel Brooks is no stranger to parody and satire, with a career filled with classics in the genre. His other iconic films, like Blazing Saddles, 1974, Young Frankenstein, 1974, Robin Hood Men in Tights, 1993, and History of the World Part 1, 1981, have made him a legend in the world of comedy. Like Spaceballs, Brooks's films often combine slapstick humor with clever wordplay and satirical social commentary. His ability to blend the absurd with the intellectual has made him a favorite among fans of all types of comedy. Similar films. If you love Spaceballs, you're likely a fan of other spoofs and parodies. Airplane, 1980, is a classic comedy that takes a similar approach to satire, spoofing disaster films with rapid-fire jokes and visual gags. Hot Shots, 1991, and Hot Shots Part 2, 1993, also take on popular action films, particularly the Top Gun franchise with over-the-top humor. And of course, the Naked Gun series, 1988, 1991, 1994, is another great example of a spoof comedy that doesn't take itself seriously but still delivers laughs. Spaceballs' legacy. Spaceballs has gone on to become a cult classic over the years. Its blend of irreverent humor, pop culture references, and lovable characters has earned it a special place in the hearts of fans worldwide. The movie's success was a key moment in Mel Brooks' career, solidifying him as one of the greatest comedic minds in Hollywood. There were also talks of a Spaceballs sequel or TV series over the years, though they haven't come to fruition yet. Nonetheless, the movie's enduring popularity is a testament to its timeless humor. Conclusion. Spaceballs remains a shining example of the parody genre, blending sharp wit, iconic references, and unforgettable characters into a hilarious space adventure. With Mel Brooks at the helm, the film remains a true comedy classic that has aged like fine wine, continuously making audiences laugh with its clever jokes and lovable characters. If you haven't seen it yet, Spaceballs is an absolute must-watch for anyone who loves sci-fi and comedy.